Last week, we gave you Stromboli. This video, we are doing Disney's first villain. And let's see how she handles with the formula. Hello, and welcome to this part of the pond, where it's the Bullfrog and the one, the only, Newt.
Face reveal at 100,000 subscribers.
We would like this as subscribers. It'll be really good, and you would want to see that face. It is a good face, a face that make people, the average Joe, go, dang, I'm jealous. Of course, I'm not. What is this about? What we're going to get into is the Wicked Queen of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Disney's first big boss villain. And through formula, we're going to analyze her mathematically and her acts on villainy. Well, first off, again, it's the math. And we're going to begin with design. And let's face it, she is an elegant design. And she's probably one of the limited few females of Disney where her eyes are properly proportioned with her face. There's only 3 that we know of that has this in their design. Snow White herself, the Queen, and the Blue Fairy from Pinocchio, where the faces are properly proportioned and they don't have the Disney eyes. She's one of the very few that has that in her design. And also, let's talk about her colors, which are kind of obvious when you look at her. The beautiful blue, that high collar of her cape, which is inside white, while that cape and the outside of the cape is black, with her gold necklace and red ruby and that little sash, not a sash, that rope thing. I don't know that much about materials or such, but she has that first form look. She's one of the few that actually has 2 different designs, where we went through that visual design, which is just plain beautiful. But again, she also has her second form, the hag form, where it's just plain, well, look at her. That craggly old face, those big giant bug eyes, and that schnoz of hers. It's pretty gosh darn ugly. But more than that, when both of these 2 move, they're very fluid with their movements. And Disney didn't do rotoscope as it did with the Fleischer Studios. So all of that was guys just watching real people walking and acting and doing these movements. They didn't rotoscope, they just did that all by hand and by sight. That is pretty amazing. So their designs are pretty neat on a technical scale. And a part of design is her actress, who is voiced by Lucia Laverne. And she's also the voice for the hag, so talk about a little range there. But again, we're not gonna, even though you're one of 3, with your visual design, with your eyes to your face, that's not gonna one you up with everyone. And as beautiful as you are, and as ugly as you are, there's no sense of real, let me get in tune here. There's no real to you. Yes, you can be gorgeous and be ugly, but yet we need a, and you kind of don't have that. Oh, in your defense, Snow White doesn't have that as well. So on level, you're both good, which is meh. This design puts you on at a 2. 2 out of 4. So that's a good range, but there you go. Now we get into presence. And the Queen is the first character you see. She changes the movie, which is more into her favor. Because when Snow White is interacting with the dwarves and the nature, It's very lighthearted. It's very emotional. It's very positive emotion. When the queen gets on screen, it just absorbs a lot from it, and that is to her favor. Descending down the stairs when she finds out it's the heart of a pig and not Snow White. Oh, that march down and the music to it. And again, pure fluid. Whew, that is a presence level. And when she turns herself into a hag, one of the most iconic scenes of the movie, and it's that grapple of twisted and darkness with the colors and the lightning and all of that. That is a good level of presence. And it's also just plain fun to overanalyze that scene and you're not tired of it. With presence, we kind of have to do a little time thing so that way during the free for all, we'll be able to analyze these things. So this is not going to help the character, but this is just to help us establish this. And for the queen, when she is in her beautiful form, the estimated time is 2 minutes and 76 seconds. Her in hag form, estimated time is 7 minutes and 20 seconds. And also the little bonus factor of the mirror, that's her power, an extension of her. The mirror estimated time is 1 minute. Huh, think about that. When we say Snow White, 4 things come to mind: the apple, Snow White, the 7 dwarfs, and the mirror. And the mirror is in there the smallest amount of time. The more you know. And I need to check my notes because we're doing each and every villain, and then we're going to go back to them when we go to the free-for-all. So the notes are extremely important. And to double check, yes, I have her presence at a 3. 3 out of 4. Again, not bad. Now we get to power. This is where things get very interesting. The queen's power was in Snow White. The narrator talks about how she's only worried about her beauty. And the thing is, with power, that goes into her favor, her vanity. You're in charge of a kingdom. You have to deal with rebellions or outside forces. But when you're only worried about your beauty, that shows how comfortable of a seat she has in power. Because she doesn't depend on any soldier. You don't see any soldier in her castle point in her favor. No worry about she's not worried about a rebellion constantly. But even more boss is her greatest gift, her greatest power of everything is the mirror. The mirror isn't a henchman. The mirror is her power, and it's her greatest power. Why? The mirror doesn't tell you about the future, but it can tell you about the past, but more importantly, it can tell you the present. And this is extraordinarily important. From mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all? Snow White. I'll have a hunter kill her.
Huntsman has brought me proof. Behold her heart.
Snow White still lives, the fairest in the land. 'Tis the heart of a pig you hold in your hand.
It could see the lie. And the heart of a pig is quite convincing people because animals that are genetically close to humans in relation, first is chimpanzee, second is a pig. For heart operations, we sometimes use pig valves because, again, their hearts are very close to us. It knows exactly where Snow White is.
Over the 7 jeweled hills, beyond the 7th fall, in the cottage of the 7 dwarfs, dwells Snow White, fairest one of all.
The mirror will always tell the truth. She didn't have to ask where Snow White is. It willingly told her. It knew the present. It knew where to go. It knew what to do. The fact that the mirror can see that, her power, that's in her favor. And she has a wealth of magic spells and of what to do and potions and disguises. If you lay this all out, it's kind of obvious. Her place for power is a 3. And let's say things are looking good in her favor. And now we have to get into henchmen. And her henchman, of course, is the hunter, the man that she sent out to kill Snow White. But he ended up not killing her and spared her, told her to go, and he threw the queen a heart of a pig. And this is an act of rebellion. He didn't follow through. He tried, but yet he failed. And not only he failed, he did everything he can to thwart her. That is not a good henchman. Far from it. That doesn't help you, Queenie. This puts your henchman at a 1. And this may hurt you.
Now, this may hurt a lot. What am I saying, May?
This is a 1 out of 4 people. And the numbers are going to help her against the free-for-all. But where to figure out where she goes in the color spectrum is her acts of villainy. We are judging you for one thing and only one thing. You being a villain. That's what we want, people. And by George, you're the first to start this trend. Oh, mirror, mirror on the wall, is she the most villainous of them all? Let's find out. Your acts of villainy, girl. We don't know your name, just as the Wicked Queen. That's not the point. I just want to personally state that out. That's always bothered me. But I need to check my notes because I want to do this right because every Disney villain is basically going to have an essay through me trying to make sure these guys are what they are, villains. And to be honest, there's pretty interesting things. Again, with her basically taking control of a kingdom and be able to get away with it. To the point, but also the most unique thing. And that is when she does the poison apple. Yeah, I may be skipping around a bit, but bear with me. I wanted this one to be well known first. The poison apple gives a dead-like sleep. It doesn't kill. It never kills. And that apple, when you bite it, you're under a death-like sleep. And the only cure for this death-like sleep is true love's first kiss. Not true love's kiss, but true love's first kiss. Don't let any other fantasy story that is outside of this movie fool you. In Disney, it's true love's first kiss. And she wanted the dwarves to bury Snow White alive. So the dwarves would be the ones killing her. Bear with me. We have that established. Then we have the first act of her trying to get rid of Snow White, and that was sending the hunter. Why the hunter? Hunters take out beautiful creatures. They take down deer, they take down swans, they take down bunny rabbits. She wanted a heartless man to kill Snow White, because knights have valor. Knights will defend the beautiful. A hunter doesn't. But the reason I think why she doesn't want to personally kill Snow White, but lead to be the first domino to her death, is that she has kind of like a portrait of Dorian Gray. And I can't believe I'm discussing this in a Disney film. Because in that short story of Portrait of Dorian Gray, the character who sells his soul so that way anything villainous he does, that will stain the painting and not him personally. I think that's why the queen in Snow White does the same thing. She's all about her vanity and beauty. to the point that she won't personally kill you, but she'll find the means to kill you. And let's say the law comes, even though, like Newt suggested when we were talking about this character, that she is the law. She is, but yet mess with the law when you're a royal or in command, that can start to rile people up. But her saying, my hands are actually clean. I never killed her. The dwarves buried her alive. The hunter was the one that killed her. I did none of those things. So A could be trying to keep herself beautiful, and B kind of keeps her exempted from manipulating laws. So that is actually a unique thing in her favor. Also, in her acts of villainy, she is able to use Snow White's kindness to her advantage. The birds in the movie, when they look back and see those vultures, they realize something's wrong, and they go and attack the queen in her hag form. And Snow White defends her from her own friends. And she suddenly, I see this as an advantage. Oh, my heart. And Snow White puts the queen into the dwarf's house, letting the queen to let her bite the apple. Well, that's a lot of acts of villainy. That's a lot. Where does this place her? Where does this place her? Because a lot of this is real high. A lot of this is pretty epic. And, sorry, I need to double check my notes. I want to give you all justice. We actually put her as a yellow, a high yellow. Why you didn't do higher, Bullfrog? What's the deal? That list was pretty epic. That was pretty big. And the acts of villainy, what was it that stopped her from getting to the reds? Honestly, her vanity. Not willing to get her hands a little bloody. The manipulation of the law, like Newt stated, she is the queen. She could do it and deal with a rebellion. But no one has been in rebellion for Snow White. That's the thing that she has the problem with. No one cared. There was no guards or anyone there to realize Snow White was around. She was free to kill Snow White. And there would be no rebellion to begin with. So she actually had open season, and yet she did her best not to keep her pretty hands a little dirty. Her vanity was her greatest thing with her power, but her vanity also led her to the deepest flaw of her being a villain. She could get away with murder and would get away with it. Sorry. But the Wicked Queen gets a high yellow. Well, until next time, it's the Bullfrog and the Newt signing out.